From the US to the UK now, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson's last-ditch plea for European Union leaders to step in and salvage the bloc's faltering trade negotiations with the UK has been frustrated after summit talks overran on Thursday night, pushing Brexit off the agenda. The meeting of the EU's 27 government chiefs in Brussels sat through the night as they tussled over tough new climate targets. Leaders including those crucial to the UK talks like German Chancellor Angela Merkel and French President Emmanuel Macron were scheduled to be briefed on the EU's future relationship with the UK over dinner, but that never materialized. Well, then joining me on the news to discuss this issue is a UK-based journalist, Temple Asaju. Now, Temple, good morning.
Good morning, Charles.
Well, good to see you again. Now,
absolutely,
the reality of Brexit happening without a trade deal with the EU is becoming more certain. Now, could this be the reason why Britain is making other arrangements with African and European nations?
Absolutely, Charles. I mean, you know that before now, trade deals that the UK had enjoyed in terms of preferential terms with a lot of African countries and a lot of European countries was under the Economic Partnership Agreements, what you refer to as the EPA. I mean, that specifically you can draw from the relationship the United Kingdom had with South Africa, for example, which informs the reason why at this point we're seeing a fresher relationship between the Southern African bloc in terms of the community now, SADC, and the United Kingdom. Before 2016, 2017, prior to Brexit, we had seen that operation trade in goods and of course disputes and of course dispute settlement and tariffs between Southern African bloc being carried out under the EPA. But after the Brexit was sealed in 2016, by 2017 we saw a situation where there was a new relationship and a new agreement being stricken between SADC and the UK. Now that covered Mozambique, South Africa, Eswatini, and a lot of all those African countries there. I'm using this as a case study because this is the one that has just been concluded around sometimes last year and of course has now taken effect. Now, all of those preferential terms that the UK had enjoyed with all those countries has now expired. What they now have to do is to kind of come up with something fresh because again, they're not going to operate under the EU and EPA terms with all the African countries. So of course, this explains the reason why we're seeing new agreements, new deals being struck with a lot of the African countries at this point in time.
All right, Temple, you just mentioned mostly African countries. What about other European countries outside of the EU?
So this is where the quagmire is at this point in time. And Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, has actually been speaking consistently on this issue. Before he went to Brussels, which you referenced earlier this week, I mean, he still spoke to the MPs that there's a possibility of having a deal at the end of the day. Now, even the Labour Party president here in the UK has mentioned that they will support the Prime Minister on at least one deal. But the Prime Minister is saying that, look, the EU's terms and conditions are not friendly enough at this point in time because the EU still kind of want to put the UK into its legal system.
All right, so the EU's terms and conditions are not friendly enough. Now, London is a tax haven and headquarters for many multilateral firms. A no-deal Brexit threatens this. So how can London survive?
London will clearly be able to survive. I mean, this is something that the Brexit deal is something that has a lot of people on the sideline at this point in time. Folks are keeping their fingers crossed. Investors cannot take decisions because of Brexit. So at the end of the day, pushing aside this deal or no deal will eventually bring about clarity to the UK market. Fishing and sovereignty for fishing is a major concern in this place. I mean, the EU is asking the UK not to have sovereignty over its over fishing in its water, and that is something that has put Boris Johnson off totally at this point in time.
All right, thank you very much, Temple. I guess that's the much we can take now, but that's quite explicit enough.